Okay, this is the second half of narrowing the torsion housing in my early single cab. I didn't want to show you how to narrow the torsion housing as in the first video without showing you how to deal with the torsion bars. So what I've got here, this is the stock bus spring plate, and this is how the spring plate looks originally. This is the spline section here for the torsion bar, and I've cut it out with a 2.5 inch hole saw. It actually works quite well. So now what happens when you narrow the torsion housing? All of a sudden your torsion bar, the splines are sticking out here another 1.25 inches. So what we've got to do is move these splines out 1.25 inches. So what I've done here is I've machined this adapter. Now this side of the splined area is about 6 degrees, and I machined that just so it would clean up, so I had a smooth surface. Now this adapter I made has a 6 degree taper in it also, so this fits together, and this is a tight mechanical fit. That'll stick in there. It's just like a wedge-mated flywheel. So we weld around here, and when the weld cools, that'll suck this in even more. That makes for a very strong joint. And keep in mind, the diameter around this weld is 7 inches long. The circumference is 7 inches long. So this is a very strong fix. So now this piece fits in here in my spring plate, and that'll get welded around the outside of this flange. And then I've also got a little bit of a relief in here where I can weld around the back side, and that's very strong too. There's no way that'll fail. So now what we've got, here's our torsion bar. Our splines are going to come out here another 1.25 inches, and that makes up for our difference where the splines used to be right here, and that makes up for that allows us to use our stock torsion bars with our narrowed rear torsion housing. So keep in mind, you also have to notch your spring plates to fit your bug axles. And secondly, the torsion bars need to stay on the same side of the vehicle. If you mix them up to where they're on opposite sides, you'll be loading the torsion bar in the opposite direction, and they have been known to break. So be careful with that. The only other modification that I have to do here is my rubber donut. I'm going to machine a 6 degree angle on the back side of this. That'll be my final operation before this gets welded in. And that allows the stock rubber donut to go back on. And the one out here, I'm going to bore the center of the rubber donut out so it's straight and fits this diameter. And then the cover goes back on. It'll obviously have to get a hole put in it through the center, and I'll probably just extend out the center and weld the cap back on it. So there you have the narrowed rear torsion housing complete, and you have a cool low riding splitty. See you later.